What is going on, guys? Bret here, back with another video, and obviously by the title of this video you already know what's going on. Okay, this is a full week of my current training program. Okay, I've tried many different types of training splits in my day. Okay, I've obviously tried the push-pull legs. I absolutely love that program. I've actually tried some full body training, bro splits obviously, and just other types of ways to build muscle in the gym, because there isn't one best way to build muscle. Okay, you gotta find a split, find a training program that you like, a routine that you can stick to, and that is the perfect routine or the perfect split for you. But this training split that I'm going to go over, beginners to advanced, anybody can follow this program. Okay, it is more of an advanced program because I would like to consider myself a little bit more advanced than most people, but I'm going to go over a couple ways how you can make this more of a beginner program as well, just by, you know, like disregarding a couple sets during the workout or whatever it may be. So in this program, in the past, I have mainly focused on aesthetics. Okay, so I focus on building muscle, you know, hypertrophy, even though hypertrophy can be accomplished in any rep range as long as volume is equated for. I'm not going to get into that, but that is pretty much the grand scheme of things. You can build muscle in any rep range. However, in this program, I am focusing mainly on strength and building muscle. So I will be typically focusing on my main compound lifts at the start of every single workout, focusing on strength, maybe in a lower rep range. And then later on in the workouts, I will be focusing more on hypertrophy, right? Hypertrophy, like I already explained, where I'll mostly be focusing on the higher rep ranges, anywhere between 12 to 15 reps. Again, just more isolation movements at the end of those workouts. So with all that being said, that was a lot, even though that was not a lot, considering we're gonna go through even more throughout this whole video, and I'm gonna go through a full workout as well. So with all that being said, let's bring out the whiteboard and go over day number one. Yeah, okay. All right, guys, so before we get into the main part of the training split and we go over each day individually, because, you know, each day needs some loving. It's like when you have 4 different eggs or 5 different eggs in one basket. You can't just leave 4 of the eggs behind and just give love to one egg, you know? Good analogy. Anyways, I'm just gonna go over some quick details here about what you want to know about the program, as well as some different things that you want to focus on within the actual training program before we actually go to the gym and, you know, perform the training program, because that's what it's for. So with all that being said, this is a 5-day training split. Okay, day 1 is going to be chest and back. Day 2 is going to be arms and shoulders. Day 3 is going to be legs. Day 4, upper body, so that's full upper body, so chest, back, arms, shoulders, you know, the whole 9 yards. And the last workout of the week is going to be lower body again. Now, because I am taking more of a power building type of style in this training split, we are mainly going to be focusing on the compound lifts. So I'm going to be working up to heavy top sets almost every single workout. So this just means that I'm going to be working up to anywhere between a 1 to 4 rep max, not an RPE 10, but a 4 rep to 1 rep max, almost on every single day. Sometimes I'll go into the gym and I won't want to do that, and then I'll just end up doing the regular 3x8 or whatever I have for that day. But if I'm feeling good, I'm gonna push strength, because again, I want to build as much strength in this training phase and just, you know, build as much muscle as possible, because that's the one reason why God put us on this earth, right? Is to get absolutely massive. So this is how we're gonna break up each single day, and this is how we're gonna break up every single training phase. So in the first training phase is going to be 3-week cycles. So week 1, week 2, week 3, and then you go on to training phase number 2, 1, 2, 3. In week number 1, we will be doing 3 sets by 8 reps on all of our compound movements. So I will go into each compound movement individually when we get into each day individually. Then in the second week, 3 by 6. And then in the third week, we'll be doing a 4 by 8. So in each week, you're gonna want to move up in weight if the rep range is going down. So if I'm going 3 by 8, let's say with 200 pounds, when I do a 3 by 6 in the second week, I won't want to use 200 pounds, right? Because I can get more than 6 reps with 200 pounds. So I'm gonna go up to, let's say, 215 pounds. Then in week 3, I would most likely go back to my 200 pounds that I used, but I will be doing more sets. So it'll be 3 by 8, 3 by 6, and then a 4 by 8. And this is just for your main compound lifts. And then your isolation movements will be anywhere between 8 to 15 reps, but that will be specified in the actual program. Like I said, in number 2, main compound lifts are compound lifts. I'm gonna be working up to top sets every now and then. So before I even do my 3 by 8, I will work up to, let's say, a 2 rep max, and then I'll drop down instantly after that 2 rep max, and I'll do my 3 by 8, because again, we're trying to build as much muscle as possible. And do I know what I'm doing? I don't know, but it works for me. And I think I've got like decent results so far. So that is training phase number 1. And then training phase number 2, you would do the exact same thing, doing a 3x8, 3x6, 4x8. Then you would just do more weight. Hopefully you would get more weight in the second phase, on the third phase, and you continue that as long as possible until you can't up the weight again, or you can't up the weight anymore. Fourthly, you can switch up any isolation exercise you want. So at the end of every workout, I have different isolation movement, so you can pretty much put in any isolation movement that you want. So instead of a pec fly, you can do a chest fly, or instead of a dumbbell lateral raise, you can do a cable lateral raise. So just different variations, it doesn't really matter. Then we're gonna be going over abs and cardio, and that's just the details. Now let's get into day number 1 and the full program in general. But I'm just gonna go to the washroom, then I'll see you guys. Yeah. Whoa, so yes, I am now shirtless because I took the thumbnail for this video, and I'm getting ready to go to the gym, because after I quickly explain this, we're going to the gym and we're gonna crush my chest and back workout. I'm gonna fully go over it so you guys understand how to implement this chest and back workout, this chest and back workout into your own routine, and how the program kind of works just based on the first day. So mainly for this day, we're going to be focusing on the bench press. Okay, we're going to be hitting our top sets of 3x8 for the bench press, the barbell row, and then you get into more of your isolation work, being an incline press machine or an incline dumbbell press, single arm row. These are both going to be done for a 3x8 to 10. I don't increase the weight until I can get that weight that I can do or the upper end of my rep range, so 10 reps. So as soon as I hit 10 reps of that certain weight, that's when I would increase the weight, and then I would go 3x8 to 10, just with more weight, obviously. Same thing with a single arm row, and then you're finishing off with pec fly, straight arm pull down. You can do these in supersets like I did, or you can do them in straight sets. It doesn't really matter. You'll probably push more weight if you're not doing it in a superset fashion, but I like to make my workouts quick, and all these workouts, you can get them done within 50 to an hour and 10 minutes. Like, you're not going to be in the gym for hours and hours, because being in the gym is only literally 1 hour out of your day, and then the rest of your day you can, carry on with the rest of your life. So we're going to go to the gym right now and cover this entire workout. Here's the plan today. Like I said, we are going to do a full back and chest workout. I will do this literally every single Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll be training. Rest Thursday. Friday, Saturday, we'll be training. And then Sunday will be the rest day. On this day, I'm prioritizing my bench press and my barbell row. And these are going to be my heavy compounds for the day. Then we're going to work into more isolation work, focusing on like a higher rep range, like 12 to 15. But we're going to work up to a heavy single now. And then we're going to fall back to a 3x8 for bench press. Get on with the rest of the workout. Hard day. Probably the hardest day of them all. So with all that being said, let's warm up and let's get after it. Alright, so I kind of overestimated my RPE. I was hoping for like an RPE of like an 8, so meaning I could hit 2 more reps on that, but that did not. That felt pretty heavy. So we are still gonna go up. I'm gonna go for like a heavy single, maybe a double, hoping for a double, but if I get a single, that's totally fine, and then I'll just go back down to a 3x8. So let's hit that right now, and then finish up the rest of bench press. Now, as soon as we finish up our main compound for chest, Now we're gonna move into our main compound for back. You can just go like your first chest exercise and your second to keep that kind of chest pump in there. But me, preferably after bench, like my chest is super fatigued, so I like to hit my heaviest back compound as soon as I'm done that heavy bench press session. So now I'm gonna go right into barbell row. You can either do it pronated or supinated. I like to do pronated just because I get more engagement from my biceps when I do it supinated, which I don't want. I want to focus mainly on my back. So again, 3 by 8, maybe 3 by 8 to 10. Then our last set, we're gonna do a drop set of probably like 15 reps. So again, hard on every single set, leave around 2 reps in the tank until your last set. That's when you go till failure. We finished up heavy barbell rows. Again, I did a drop set on my last set, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but my thumb was over the bar rather than wrapped around the bar, because for me, by having my thumb like over top of the bar, I can engage my lats more, and it kind of unactivates my biceps. So it's just a way to activate your lats more than your biceps. We're gonna do a machine loaded incline press. Then I'm going right into a single arm dumbbell row. Again, I wouldn't really superset these because I want to focus both of them like primarily by themselves, but we are running short on time, so we're going to superset these 3 by 10 to 12, finish it up strong, even though we still have what, 1 more superset left. So 1 chest, 1 back. Last 2 exercises, we're doing seated pec fly, like I already said. Then we're doing straight arm lat pull down, 15 to 20 reps. When you're doing this, you can keep your hand closed, but by you coming in and keeping your fingertips open, for me personally, I get a better contraction right in the middle of my chest. So you can try it out if you want. If it doesn't work for you, then obviously don't do it. But those little things like that change one exercise to get you that better contraction, so that you get the better mind and muscle connection, because that's what it's all about when you're building muscle. So 3 to 4 sets, finish it off, and then let's get a meal. Done. All right, guys, so we are back from the gym now. Unreal workout, okay? So day number 2 is gonna be shoulders and arms and traps. I didn't mention traps, but I just consider traps to be like technically part of my shoulders, even though it's on your back. So it doesn't really matter. You can do it on your back day or on your shoulder day. I just like it on my shoulder day. So just like with day number 1, day number 2, we're gonna be focusing our top sets on 3 by 8, and this is gonna be as heavy as possible, okay? And then in our second week, it's gonna be 3 by 6, and the third week, it's gonna be 4 by 8, but with more weight, right? So we're gonna start off with the overhead press. Again, we're gonna be working up to a heavy top set. So this is just an example. I would do 15 reps, 8 reps, 3 reps, 2 reps, and then depending on how I'm feeling or depending on how I'm working up to that heavy set, I would either keep going on to my heavy set, or that 2 would be my heavy set. Again, these are just like kind of ballparks of how many reps I would be doing. I didn't explain that in the last step, but that's just me warming up for my heavy top set. So I'll do however many reps it takes me to warm up properly. Then I'll drop back down to my 3x8. Then our second movement is a heavy barbell shrug. Again, with the variations, you can do a dumbbell shrug, but if you can get more than 3x8, then use a barbell, because you can stack on more weight onto the barbell, so you can overload easier by adding more weight every single week or just adding more reps over time. Then we're going into a superset. Again, you don't have to superset, you can just do straight sets of a dumbbell curl and a dumbbell skull crusher. Use barbells if you like to. Dumbbells is just better for muscle imbalances in my opinion, because you can focus on both arms at the same time. And we're gonna be doing that for 5 sets of 8x12. And because this is our only bicep and tricep exercise of the day, that's why I'm doing 5 sets. You can just do 3 sets, and then at the very end of your workout, you can throw in maybe some cable curls, maybe some tricep extensions, or whatever you like to incorporate for your isolation movements. Don't move up in weight until you can get that specific weight for 5 sets of 12 reps. Then our last superset, going back to the shoulders or the rear delts in this case, we're gonna be doing a cable face pull with a seated lateral raise. Again, you can pick any lateral raise you want. You don't even have to do a cable face pull. You can do a rear delt cable machine or a rear delt fly or whatever you like to do for your rear delts. And we're hitting that for 3x12 to 15. Again, don't move up in weight or don't increase the weight you're using until you get 15 reps. Just because you're doing a 12 to 15 rep range doesn't mean you shouldn't be going as heavy as possible. Yes, that's a lighter rep range, but you should still be pushing as hard as you possibly can. So that's day number 2. Now day number 3, our first leg session of the week, and it is mainly going to be around the barbell squat. Again, work up to a heavy top set for the barbell squat. Nothing beats the squat for overall leg development. So that is our first exercise. Then we're going right into the Romanian deadlift or the RDL. Again, a 3x8. And I don't know if I mentioned before, but you're not just going right into your working sets. So for this, obviously you're gonna be warming up. You're warming up with a 15, then 8, 3, 2. I'm not going right into 3x8. We'll typically do 1 warm-up set, maybe 2 depending on the day. So if I'm feeling really shitty, then I will do 2 warm-up sets. But usually I will throw on, let's say, a plate or 135, do that for a warm-up set, then work into my 3x8. Then I'm going into a superset of leg extension with a leg curl. And I have 3 to 5 sets by 8 to 12 reps. So these 2 exercises, the squat and the Romanian deadlift, it is very taxing, right? Some days I won't be able to do 5 sets of the superset, then go into my last superset because that is just so much volume. So some days I will just do 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps, superset that, and then go into my last superset. Whereas other days, if I'm feeling like really good, if I had a good sleep, if I had enough food that day, then maybe I'll go for 5 sets, again, 8 to 12 reps. Don't move up in weight or the machine weight until you get the 12 reps. And for my last superset, walking lunges, you can do either dumbbell or barbell. I typically like to use barbell because you can load more weight on it. With this, we're doing 3 sets by 12 to 20 reps. Supersetted with calf raises. Again, you can do it standing or seated. It's totally up to you. And I'm going mainly for 12 reps on the walking lunges. So each leg, that would be 12 reps. And then calf raises, because we are only hitting calves once, maybe twice a week, I'm doing 20 reps. I'm gonna go have my post-workout meal now because I'm very hungry now and I wanna eat and I'm hungry. So I'm gonna go eat. So let's go make that meal right now. Then we can hop into day number 5. Yeah. Yes. All right, guys, so that was an absolutely fantastic meal. I will link the recipe down below. You guys already know the recipe. I've detailed it before, but anabolic French toast, absolutely amazing for a pre or post-workout meal. Good carbs, good protein, and overall absolutely satisfying meal. This is my full upper body day. I have day 4 or 5 because in the last day I described for legs, I had that as day 4, but many of you will be like, oh, that was the 3rd day you explained. Yes, because you have 2 rest days during the week, so you can place these rest days whenever you'd like. So primarily for this workout, I'm not going to any top sets. This is pretty much all supersets because I'm working full upper body, so I want to get in that volume. You don't have to do it this way, but again, it's just a fun way for me to enjoy my training, and I can literally put any exercise I want in there as long as I'm hitting that muscle group. So in my first exercise, because I already hit the flat barbell bench press on my chest day, I'm going to be hitting an incline barbell bench press or an incline dumbbell press, supersetted with dumbbell chest supported row or just a regular chest supported row, 3 by 8 to 12. And because we are not going up to my top set, it is an 8 to 12 rep range. So in my first week, most likely I'm going to be doing 3 by 8. Then the second week, 3 by 9, third week, 3 by 10, 3 by 11, and so on until I get to 12 reps of 3 sets. Then I would increase the weight that I'm doing. That is the main goal with this. You want to get 12 reps, then you can increase the weight, because as soon as you increase the weight, you are doing God's job, because he is making you build muscle. So in the second superset, we're doing an Arnold dumbbell press, another pressing movement, supersetted with a barbell curl, or you can do a tricep isolation. But because we're already getting some tricep work in with our dumbbell press, I'm doing a barbell curl, again, 3 by 8 to 12. Our third superset is a pull-up. You can use any grip that you would like for the pull-up. I tend to use a wide grip just because I can get more activation in my lats. Supersetted with a chest fly, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Again, only increase the weight once you get to that 12 reps. And last but not least, our final and fourth superset. I know a lot of supersets and a lot of volume, but that is okay. If you don't try the program or anything or any workout or any exercise in the program, do this day, okay? And then take a before and after picture of your pump. And if you are not 2 times as big, you will get your money back, even though this is a free program. So our last superset is a single arm tricep extension. You can either do this overhead or you're pulling down. Supersetted with a cable lateral raise. For both of these movements, we're doing 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. With this little point right here, weak points or different muscle groups, you can switch up these last 4 exercises for whatever exercise or whatever muscle group you want to work on. So that is day number 4 or 5. Now we got one more day, and then the split is done. Whoa, all right, guys. So for our last and final day, okay, probably one of my favorite days. I say that about every day, but every day that you can better yourself and every day that you can make it to the gym should be the best day of your life. So this is day 5 or 6. Again, it depends on when you put your rest day. It is mainly deadlift focused because in our first leg day, it was mainly squat focused, and I really, really love progressing and working on my squat and my deadlift because that is where you will get a ton of your strength in your posterior chain and your quads and your hamstrings and your glutes. So trust me, the deadlift and the squat is unbeatable in my opinion. We're going deadlift 3 by 8 for the progressions of this workout. You will be working up to a top set of, let's say, anywhere between 2 to 3 reps, and then work back down to your 3 by 8. In the second week, it'll be 3 by 6. On the third week, it will be 4 by 8. So right after the deadlift, we're going right into hip thrust. You can use barbell, you can use the Smith machine, same progression as with the deadlift. Then right after hip thrust, we're going into, you guessed it, another superset, because Bret loves the supersets and he loves to, you know, push, like go hard in the gym. Anyways, Smith machine lunge. You're doing this for 10 to 12 reps on each leg, supersetted with a leg curl. Then you don't have to, but you can do this in a tri-set fashion, or you can just do superset of kettlebell swings and leg extension. But for me personally, I'm trying to focus on my knees and building strength in my knees again. So I'm focusing a lot on stability at the end of my workouts and doing those finishers that will help me not only improve for the future, but kind of rehab my knees. So I put in any single leg exercise, body weight, typically like a split squat or a pistol squat, something like that, where I'm really focusing on each leg at a time. So in this superset, we have kettlebell swings, supersetted with leg extension, because leg extension, an isolation exercise to build the quads. There's nothing like a leg extension. The contraction you get from it, the mind to muscle connection, it's just muy bien, okay? It's absolutely fantastic. We're doing that for 2 to 3 sets by 15 to 20 reps. Again, 2 to 3 sets. I say it 2 to 3 because some days I'll want to do 3 sets, where other days I will feel super tired from my deadlifts, especially if I worked up to that top set. So I'll probably only have enough in the tank to do 2 sets of this tri-set, which is technically 6 sets if I do all 3 exercises. So guys, that is the last and final day of this training split, this 5-day training split. I absolutely love this one. I'm gonna be running this probably for the next 4 to 6 weeks, and then I'll probably reevaluate at the end of that 4 to 6 weeks. Again, guys, if you are a complete beginner, let's say at the very end of this workout, you literally physically can't get 2 to 3 sets. Then in the superset before, only do 2 sets, okay? And maybe with the hip thrust, only do 2 sets so that you can get the tricep at the very end. Or let's say you want to scrap the tricep altogether, then complete just the deadlifts, the hip thrust, Smith machine lunge with the leg curl, and that is completely fine. And that is a difficult workout just in that without even the tricep. So don't overcomplicate your workouts, make it fun, make it enjoyable. That's why I say to put it in different variations of isolation movements, whatever you like to do. If you like to do chest flies, do chest flies. If you like to do pec flies, you know, do pec flies. It's totally up to you, because the best training split isn't the one that everyone else is doing. It's not the one that builds the most muscle. It's the one that you can stick to over the long term. I am gonna link down the full training split down below, and I actually have the full training split now inside my app. So if you wanna like track everything yourself, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, deuces.